Hey guys, it's Lauren and Tim here with Couples Tech. Today we're going to talk to you about these Ororo jackets and give you our review.
So yeah, Ororo sent out both of these jackets for us. We've been using these the past couple of weeks, so today we're going to give you our review and our feedback on this. They have one really cool feature that we're going to discuss today.
So the cool thing about these jackets is that they're actually electric jackets and they have heating elements inside.
Yeah, so these both actually come with a battery pack. That is always included with your order as well.
So inside the jacket you have a zippered pocket that holds your battery. With the battery you have to make sure that it's charged up. Okay, this is going to be your power source. So inside the jacket there's your little connector, and it's basically a cord that runs inside to all the electric coils in order to heat the jacket up.
Yeah, it's cool because it is like kind of stitched in, so you can kind of feel like where it goes, but they basically, have everything connected for you. It does have some indicators on here, and it's actually Type-C charging for this battery, so that's pretty neat as well. But then there's just a little DC plug where you plug your jacket into.
So the other cool thing with this battery pack is that since it's always with you, we measured it to see how much it weighed, and it's just a little over half a pound, so it's pretty light. So in the jacket that I got, mine actually hits when the battery pack's in, just kind of right in the front, almost on the front of my hip, so kind of right where you'd put your hands in the front of your jacket.
And then this one that I'm wearing, the battery was actually, I think, moved back a little bit. Mine kind of sits more lateral out here. So mine does not really kind of overlap with the front pocket. This one that I've got on is more of a newer model, I believe, compared to some of the other ones too. That's why I think the battery pack on this one was moved a little. This one, the coils are actually a little different too. Some of them, you have the coils across the front chest and then across the upper back here. This one, I have that upper back, and then my coils are down here, kind of almost where like the front pockets are in front of the hip. So I went with that because I thought it'd be nice to be able to throw your hands in there, and I can actually feel the coils when I have my hands in my pockets here.
And on my jacket, I have the coils in the front, like he said, and then in the back. So it's nice that my pockets are lined in fleece, because I don't know, are yours lined fleece at all, or no?
No, these ones are kind of just, nice, kind of smooth, silky material. So on most of the jackets, I would say the indicator is on the outside, so your control and the little button where you're going to actually turn it on and off and change your settings is external, and other people can actually see that and light up. So like Lauren's jacket here, she has it on the outside. So if I hold that down, it goes into like a preheating mode, which it honestly doesn't last too long, right?
Right, yeah.
I think it's probably like a couple minutes, I would say. I thought it might be something at first where it was going to be like 10 minutes and something like that, but typically I'd say, right, if I'm about to leave, I'll kind of hit that on. By the time I'm probably leaving the apartment, I'd say it's preheated and kind of solid. Would you agree?
It does not take too long on this jacket for me, at least.
Hers will be on the outside where you'll just press the button there to go through your cycles. There's three. There's the red, which is the hottest. There's a clear or like a white light, which is kind of your intermediate. And then the blue is the lowest setting. And then obviously you can wear this with the heating off, and that's going to conserve your battery as well.
And then for other jackets, such as the one Tim got, the source is on the inside, okay? So same thing, you're able to power that and push the button and it comes on as well, but he's going to be the only one that can see that color if he opens his jacket up. So that's something to consider based on if you're somebody that wants to be walking around where people can see the color, or if it's something that you don't want that, you'll definitely want to make sure that power source is internal then.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being like a conversation piece if people see that. If you want a little more minimal design, that's kind of why I went with this one. And this, like I said, I think is kind of more their newer model. It seems like a lot of the earlier ones all have that where it's on the front pocket and you can see it. So if you kind of see here, the branding is a little more minimal. It still says Ororo here, but it's kind of black on black and stitched in. So you don't have quite as much branding. And then obviously on the front, you're not actually seeing that. So the only way you'd be able to tell it really this is a heated jacket is by looking at the inside right here.
So let's go a little more in depth and talk about how warm these jackets actually get and how well these coils actually work. So like Tim said, we've got different settings that we can look through, with red being the hottest one. Now I was pretty amazed on this one. Since my coils, like we said, are in the back and the front, I'll admit I could feel the back coils heat up great. My back got really warm. I was pretty impressed at how hot it did get in those colder temps. I'll admit I did not feel the front as much, but it's also because with my jacket, I feel like the back side was a lot more in contact with my back, so it was really warm.
Yeah, which is a good point. Definitely you want to make sure you have a good fit because that contact with a product like this, you know, it's something easy to overlook probably at first if you haven't had a product like this before. But you do want it to be good fitting because that's going to give you that heat. So kind of the more contact you have, the better. So I'd say too, I definitely feel it on my back more. I feel like it tends to bunch, you know, a little more here anyway. And I'll say that the coils on mine are more on the inside. Like I could feel the heat kind of more almost on my stomach area, especially if I have like a seatbelt on. It's not quite as hot, I would say, in the pockets on mine as it is on the back, which is kind of good. I mean, your pockets are going to be warmer anyway, so I can see why you wouldn't want your pockets to be quite as hot. But definitely, I'd say, yeah, where you have those contact areas, you're going to feel it the most.
Yep.
What do you think about the heat settings? I mean, is it too hot for you? Or?
No, I think this is perfect. I was actually just telling him, you know, with working out, doing some game coverage and stuff like that, sitting around, when you're outside in the cold weather, having something that warms your back, I was amazed at the difference of how nice this felt just compared to having a ton of other layers on. So I really think it did the trick. I'll admit I did cycle through the different settings. Mornings when it was really cold, I liked the red the best, but as the day went on, it started warming up a little bit. It was nice to be able to tone that down just a little bit and still keep a jacket on that looks overall really nice and a little bit form-fitting too.
I would say too that the good thing about this is it allows you to be a bit more minimalist. You can kind of pack lighter and wear something like this rather than kind of, you know, your like big puffer coat, something that's, you know, more of a parka thing, because this gives you that added heat. You can almost think of it as an extra few layers. I kind of like to think of it as, you know, you could start off, like you said, with this. If it starts getting colder, you can go ahead and dial up the heat a little bit. You know, say it starts getting a little bit warmer. You know, a lot of the places in the country here in the United States, you have those cold mornings, and, you know, people joke about how you're wearing a jacket in the morning and then you're, you know, in a t-shirt by the afternoon.
So let's talk a little bit about the charge too then. So if you are planning on using it all day, what have you noticed in terms of wear time? How's the battery life?
I think I got about probably a week out of the battery myself when I was using this last time. For the most part, I did put it on in the mornings. I put it on mostly probably like the intermediate. By the time I was in the car, I wasn't really using it fully on the red. We're in North Carolina, so we've been using it kind of like I said, more in the mornings when the temperature's dropping, at nighttime, kind of those type of hours where it's been getting into like the 30s. 40s, 50s. Kind
of like Tim said, you know, I used it a lot in the morning for probably 4 or so hours while I was out doing some coverage, and lasted fine, no issues, and then was still able to use it a little bit throughout the week in the mornings as well before I needed to recharge it.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, the cool thing is you could probably use a power bank then with this or something. You could charge it in your car theoretically too, because it has that Type-C input on there for the charging. So that's really all you need. I could see if like you're using this maybe outside more, you have type of outdoor job or going in and out a little bit, or maybe you're a student, you're going kind of across campus. Pretty easy, I think, to be able to charge this. So it only took like about probably a couple hours. I didn't really time it because it didn't seem like it was that big of an issue. I think you could easily do this overnight and just charge it that way if you're, you know, concerned about it. But I think you could charge it in a couple of hours and you're going to be good to go again.
So another cool thing I liked about the jacket was just the fact that it did come with a hood that you can easily use, but then you can also take off if you don't want to use it. But the neat feature on that aspect too, I thought, and you guys can see in some of the videos we use, but like, actually, if I want to show it on you, if you put the hood up, so most of the times, right, we all have a hood, zips up, it gets annoying because we always have these like flaps and everything that are in the way. Well, this jacket's really cool because on the inside it has Velcro, and this is a Velcro piece, so you actually can slip this inside, and it makes for just a really smooth, uniform fit. And on those days when it's windy or rainy, I was amazed at how much warmer I was able to stay because everything was nice and tight with the jacket. Besides that, being able to be really uniform and slim on the side there, you can also see they do offer the option for you to even cinch this down a little bit more, even if you want to make that hood a little tighter. So I thought that was really nice, a unique feature that you could have on those days, like we said, when it's rainy or windy. But then if it's a day that it's just a cold day out and you're like, hey, I want to wear a regular hat and not use my hood, you can easily detach that if you want.
Yeah, you can use it kind of more like a spring jacket or something like that, and then it's really lightweight. So if you're someone that doesn't really use the hood, you can definitely do that. So one of the other things was Lauren, I think, really liked with this jacket, for the women, it was kind of more slimming and kind of form-fitting, right?
Yeah, I did like it. I felt like it did have a little bit of that taper in at your waist, which is nice, because I don't know about you guys, but winter jackets I always hate because I just feel like they're huge, they're bulky, and they just don't look good. So I was impressed with this, that it did have that slimming feature.
Yeah, and sizing wise, I looked at it, I decided to go with the small, so that's what you're seeing here, and in the photos and stuff you're going to see throughout the review. Lauren was looking online, so there are guidelines for the measurements and that. She was kind of borderline, she
Right
thought.
in between, yeah.
So she went with the medium initially, and then we realized it was too big. Like we said, the fit is a big key with this. You want it to be snug. So we reached out to Ororo, and their customer service was amazing. They sent us out a new one. We just shipped back the medium one, and she got a small shipped out. So that's what she's got now.
Yeah, it was nice, really nice, easy, and they made it a great experience.
So quality-wise, like I'll say, so Lauren's jacket is kind of more of that like soft shell type feel, I'd say. Is that what you would say?
Yeah.
Kind of that like soft shell. So it's soft like mine. How would you describe this? It's more of like a smooth material.
I think they're both like water resistant, right?
Yeah,
Even
they're
though
water
a little
resistant.
different.
The feel's a little bit different on them. So
Yeah.
this is that men's heated padded jacket. That's what I have. But yeah, some of the other ones that aren't this design, the heated padded jacket, are going to be probably similar to this one. There are actually vests on there. There's a couple hoodie options on there. If you want to go even lighter, depending on, the type of the season or the weather by you, you could really go from something like this and have a little bit more protection, a little bit more heat. Or if you want just a hoodie, there's that option as well.
So another neat feature is how they do the sleeves on these jackets. I have kind of a felt lining to make it nice and warm. And then on Tim's, I think he's got a little bit more of like a stretchy lining that keeps it in contact with his wrist here.
Yeah, so that's really cool. It's a soft lining here, very flexible. So it's really cool because it fits like a glove around your wrist there, and it really probably helps kind of on the updraft and stuff coming up the sleeves there. So I really like that.
So the other cool thing on my jacket is that I do have a pocket over top. So that's a nice little thing. I don't think Tim's jacket has one of those.
No, so she's got the external pocket. Mine actually on the left is my controls, but on the right side I have an inside pocket here. So that's one that's just kind of on the inner chest pocket there on the right.
So overall, what do you think? What's your opinion on the jacket?
So I'm pretty impressed with it. This is both of our first times having like a heated jacket like this. I could definitely see the positives of having something like this versus a traditional jacket. I like the fact that, like I said, I feel like, you almost have virtual layers. I think, if you're in a car, whereas you might have a big thick jacket on in the winter and get overheated if you're taking an Uber or something, with this you just turn the heat off and then you're back to, cooling down a bit. So I think that's pretty cool to have it at a touch of a button.
Yeah, works for all those people that don't have heated seats during the winter.
I think the affordability is pretty cool. I think I was looking at Amazon right now, and they have Amazon. You could also order through their site, Ororo, but on Amazon they have these for about like $150. There's some options even cheaper than that. So what do you think about price-wise with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for what you're getting and the fact that you do have multiple levels in terms of how hot it's getting, I think that's a great price. It's simple to charge, simple to use, so I'm happy with the quality of the jacket itself too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this can replace, say a couple jackets. So if you were going to buy a really lightweight jacket and then buy a little bit of a, medium or heavier jacket, this kind of can fill the purpose possibly of a couple jackets for you. So price-wise, I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's pretty affordable for most people. I mean, $150 if you go to a store, that's pretty reasonable, I think.
For a good quality jacket. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, overall, we're pretty happy with this. We're glad that we are able to test these out, and I would definitely recommend them if you're on the fence about it.
So thanks to Ororo for sending these to us and letting us test them out.
But yeah, guys, we're going to put a few of those links down there. I'll link to Ororo and their website, and then down here below in the description is also going to be some of the jackets on Amazon there. So those are affiliate links that will help us out and give us a little bit of a kickback there. So if you found this video helpful, we'd love it if you'd actually purchase through one of those links, like the video. Like I said, there's a bunch of different options with going from vests to hoodies to jackets like these, so I'll put a few of those down there.
So thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys next time.